From its earliest stages, Hinduism and its precursor Brahmanism has incorporated the worship of female divinities. However, the specific worship of the female divine as mother was fully developed into its own system of worship during the Gupta Dynasty period in northern India. This center of worship on Devi, goddess, or Shakti energy, is in reference to the pantheistic female energy which fulfills the active role of Brahman in this tradition. From this word, we get the name of the tradition, Shaktism, one of the four major sub-branches of Hinduism. It has been suggested by some scholars, and enthusiastically by proponents of the sect, that the tradition has its roots in Stone Age India, with goddess figurines found near Allahabad dating from around 20 to 23,000 BCE. Similarly, such proponents have also claimed the female figurines discovered in Indus Valley civilization sites as evidence for the antiquity of the sect. Although there is a possibility there is some connection between earlier female divinities and Shaktism as it developed in the classical and late classical period, it is difficult to prove definitively the link. Moreover, attempts to shoehorn the Devi into every female figurine found obscures the vibrancy and uniqueness of the sect as it develops in the so-called Golden Age of Sanskrit in the late classical period. Although Devi worship and related thought is discussed in Vedic and post-Vedic Sanskrit works, the Puranic works reflect the emergence of a new tradition within the Gupta Dynasty period and are the clearest evidence for the development of a new and vibrant strand of Shaktism from around the late 3rd century CE. The most important work related to Shaktism is the Devi Mahima, meaning glory to the goddess, a short text contained within the Markandeya Purana and believed to have been composed sometime between 400 to 600 CE. The text describes the many manifestations of Devi as Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth, creation and happiness, Durga, the goddess of war, or Kali, the destructive manifestation and consort of Shiva, as well as many others. The climactic middle scene of the text describes a battle between the Devi, manifested as Durga, goddess of war, representing the forces of good, and Mahishasura, a buffalo demon representing the forces of evil. The text, although fascinating in its own right as a mythical and devotional work, places the feminine in all aspects of the Hindu theology, from creation, through sustainment, and into destruction, much like the traditional Trimurti of Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. In fact, the text puts forward the Tridevi as a feminine opposite and complement to the Trimurti. Saraswati, goddess of learning, is seen as the consort of Brahma, the creator. Lakshmi, goddess of wealth and fertility, is the consort of Vishnu, the sustainer. And Parvati, goddess of love and fertility, but who also manifests as Kali, is the consort of Shiva, who likewise has a manifestation as the ultimate yogi, but also as the destroyer of the universe. Another text of importance in the Shakti tradition is the Devi Gita, found in the Devi Bhagavata Purana, and composed sometime between the 9th and 14th century CE. This text portrays the feminine divine as the ultimate creator, a world mother, called Bhuvaneshwari, literally the female ruler of the universe. The text borrows from other Indian schools of philosophy, including Samkhya and Vedanta, to put forward Shakti ideals. The Devi is put forward as the universal cosmic energy, the Shakti, resident in all souls. In other texts, the Devi Upanishad, the theology goes further by putting forward the Devi as identical in form to Brahman, and rejects dualism, declaring the oneness of all living beings with Devi, and that the knowledge of this will lead to liberation. The text is heavily influenced by the contemporaneous Bhakti movement, which included the devotional movements to figures such as Krishna. The Devi Gita recognizes Bhakti Yoga as a path to liberation and elevates selfless prayer as the highest level of devotion, when an individual doesn't seek favor or self-liberation, but merely worships out of love for the goddess. Although Shaktism reveres the feminine as divine, this is not a rejection of masculinity. The monism of Shakti belief rejects the binary between male and female. We are all aspects of the one divine substrate. This has led to some interesting Shakti devotional artwork, including the figure Ardhanari, who is half Shiva and half Shakti. Since the emergence of the Tantric movement in the 7th century CE, there has been a close association between Shakti rituals and Tantra. The word Tantra means loom or weave and denotes the esoteric traditions which emerged in the late classical and medieval Hindu and Buddhist practices. I will cover Tantra separately in another video. Tantra, as it appears in Shaktism, includes both Vamamarga, or so-called left-hand heterodox, and Dakshinamarga, or right-hand conventional groups that employ differing rituals and methods. The main thing to note with this tantric practice is that it is interwoven with not only Shakti or Hindu practices, but broader Indian religions, with Tantra emerging in the Jain, Sikh, and even Islamic traditions. So having discussed the history, methods, and text of Shakti, we can now discuss the issue of Devi. Who is the divine goddess and what is her manifestation? The manifestation of the ultimate divine in Shaktism is called Adi Parashakti. Although she comes in many manifestations, be that of Saraswati, Lakshmi, Durga, Kali, or Parvati, the ultimate form is called Lalita Tripura Sundari, armed with a sugarcane bow, flower arrows, a noose, and a goad. Although this is her form as ultimate god, most families will worship her in the figure of one of her many manifestations, as mentioned above, or even one of the innumerable local female divinities. However, whichever deity they are worshipping or they have created an idol of, they are still in essence ultimately worshipping the Devi in her divine cosmic form. Besides the common worship of Devi as part of Shakti belief, there are some sub-traditions that have emerged throughout history of the movement. The first is the Srikula tradition, worshipping Devi in the form of Lalita Tripura Sundari, the universal goddess. The most well-known school of Srikula practice is Srividya, meaning knowledge, learning, or science. It has a close connection to Kashmir Shaivism, and the tradition focuses on worshipping the divine in the form of a central focus object, comprised of 9 intersecting triangles called the Sri Yantra. Sri Vidya is itself divided between Kaula, a left-hand tantric practice which incorporates aspects of the Shaivite Kapilika Skullmen sect, and Samaya, a right-hand sect which came out of a 16th century reform movement which attempted to align tantric practice to high-caste Brahmanical tastes. The second form of Shaktism, which forms its own distinct tradition, is Kalikula, literally the family of Kali. Although it primarily focuses on the worship of Devi in her form as Kali, which the devotees believe is the most potent incarnation of the Mother Goddess, it also worships several other incarnations of the Devi as well. Kali is commonly depicted in this tradition, and more broadly in India, in her Dakshinakali form, with dark blue skin, a severed head, a bright red tongue, a necklace of skulls, and a sword, usually with one foot planted on the chest of her consort, Shiva. Kali is associated with fierceness and violence, required to overcome the forces of evil. However, she is also associated with motherly love and kindness, and this is the duality expressing the full depth and power of the Devi. Animal sacrifice is a key component of Shakti worship. This can involve an actual animal, or in some cases, a vegetable or sweet that is sacrificed in the animal's stead. For the Kaula sect, animal sacrifice is a key component of tantric worship. For others, it is common to make animal sacrifices to emulate Durga killing the demon buffalo. Historically, human sacrifice was used in conjunction with the worship of Kali. Although extremely rare, it still has a small following amongst some worshippers, so much so that in 2013, the Indian state of Maharashtra instituted the prevention and eradication of human sacrifice and other inhuman, evil, and Aghori practices and Black Magic Act. In India's modern history, Shaktism has infused mainstream Hindu culture and practice so much that it now pervades and influences most aspects of religious life, including in the other 3 major Hindu denominations: Shaivism, Vaishnavism, and Smartism. With the 21st century, more female gurus and saints are becoming prominent in the reformist and liberal quarters of the Hindu landscape, and many feminists of both Indian and Western origin have turned to Shaktism for inspiration or devotion. In this sense, Shaktism remains a vibrant and growing tradition today.